There are 1024 villages in East Khasi Hills district as per the 2011 census. The Lajkro Khadarshnong block covers a total of about 94 villages. While some are villages with a small population of around 37 households, others are relatively bigger in size with 1500 households. Today we are on our way to a few lesser known villages in the Lajkro Khadarshnong block. The nearest motorable road near these farmer cultivator communities is Warwar village in the Khadarshnong area. From Warwar, we will have to trek for a few hours to get to the four adjoining and neighboring destinations of Pong, Rangpajun, Padei, Puhbsein and Thangtim villages. Warwar is situated besides the road that connects much of Khadarshnong, and through the years this village has evolved and grown bigger. About 50 households make up this village, which has become an important transit station for the villagers of Pong, Rangpajun, Padei, Puhbsein and Thangtim, located far away in and around the river valley below.
I'm in Khadarshnong village and this is Warwar, our starting point. We are going to 4 villages deep down in the valley. We're going to start with Pong, from Pong to Padei, then Puhbsein and Thangtim. These are the 4 villages. It will be a journey of discovery as we go down this trail and find out what the villages have in store for us.
The beginning of the trail was all the way downhill across broomgrass plantation and bamboo groves. It's a combination of a paved and unpaved track. In some portions of the trail, there are stepping stones, uneven in arrangement, but all in all, quite firmly placed. The uniqueness of these 4 small contiguous village communities in Khadarshnong area is that they are home to the only cane and basket weavers of Khadarshnong. Our first stop is at Pong, Rangpajun village, an agrarian community of some 56 households who are dependent on broomgrass and basketry for their livelihood. The khaw, a traditional conical basket, is the main produce of Pong and Rangpajun, 2 adjacent villages under one village head, Rangpajun and Dorbarshnong, or village council.
This is one of the most tough terrains on earth, but if you look at how the people have tamed this land, you have this cane here. Pong village is a village of craftsmen who do basketry, and they use this cane for weaving their baskets.
The village is situated across a river. After some 30 minutes of walking downhill and passing through a bamboo grove, we reach the arch bamboo bridge that connects Pong village to the outside world. It's a typical bamboo structure that is found in many parts of the Rewar region of the Khasi Hills.
The villagers of Khadarshnong are very skilled craftsmen when it comes to bamboo, and this is a fine specimen of a bamboo bridge where it kind of supports the economy of the villages here, because these bamboo bridges connect places and these are the only passages that enable the villagers here to take their goods and carry them to the markets up above on the roads.
The length is about 25 meters and the width of the narrow deck is about 1.5 meters. The Pong and Rangpajun community are skilled in bamboo craftsmanship. They make the khaw and shang, or different types of bamboo baskets, all year round. The work of harvesting the bamboo stems to cutting, splitting, and arranging them into uniform thin strips of equal length for weaving basket is an activity that occupies the villagers throughout the year. The bamboo undergoes the traditional way of treatment by submerging it in the running waters of the river to preserve the bamboo for longer periods and make it resistant to insects and fungi. The village is home to more than 200 people. The relative isolation and lack of basic amenities are some of the obstacles faced by the villagers. The literacy rate at 24 to 25% is much below the neighboring villages and has impacted on the community's path to prosperity. However, recent government intervention through the NREGA scheme has brought about a number of infrastructure like footbridges and footpaths to the village, which have made the lives of the residents easier. Pong is an eco-friendly village, having within its boundary some of the oldest jackfruit trees, soyong, sophe trees, and also bananas, oranges, and other fruit trees. It is a sustainable community that has for generations lived off the land and preserved the ecosystem for future generations. The Pong Rangpajun ecosystem is one of the oldest in the river valley, and its forefathers have been the ones who were instrumental in establishing the contiguous villages of Padei, Puhbsein, and Thangtim. As we passed through, we noticed the presence of a number of children in the village. It's a sign of hope and a healthy balance, in a sense, ensuring the cycle and continuation of the community and the ecosystem in the next generation of successors. In every hut in the village, there were the bamboo strips in bundles and separated, laid out on the front of the house, evidence that basketry was an important occupation of the households in Pong. In the courtyard, women were busy weaving the thin strips of bamboo with much skill and expertise. It takes a skilled bamboo weaver about 2 to 3 hours to complete a khaw or conical basket. Most of these traditional baskets are used for packing betel leaf, vegetables, fruits, and other items of daily use. The khaw baskets are convenient for carrying crops, useful for storage and other purposes in the house and markets, are eco-friendly and last for a long time. Broom grass cultivation is still the major occupation of the farmers, and this cash crop has been the mainstay of the microeconomy of these communities in Kharar-Shinong. The reason that this crop grows in all types of soil surfaces, including rocky soil surface, and the high demand for broomsticks in Meghalaya, other northeastern states, the Indian subcontinent, and Southeast Asia, has made this cash crop a favorite amongst the farmers of Meghalaya. The microclimate of Pong is suitable for fruit-bearing trees like soyong, jackfruit, bananas, oranges, and others. Some of the giant fruit trees are found in the village. We move on from Pong Rangpajun to our next adjoining village, Padei, Puhbsein, located southeast across the river. We still had a long way to go, one full day of trekking and exploring of these remote villages and the micro communities that have changed the landscape of this area. En route, we socialize with the younger generation who are curious about the strangers visiting their village. Unlike their counterparts in the cities and towns, the youngsters live with nature and for most of their childhood are engaged in the outdoors, either playing or helping in various household chores. The Rangpajun neighborhood has a lower primary school, but it was empty. Education of the younger generation in Pong Rangpajun is still not a priority, as the literacy rate of approximately 27% indicates. Heading southeast, we continue our walk across a rugged landscape. One can notice the broomgrass plantation, which have covered most of the undulating land on the mountain slope. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful patch of green country that is still pristine, unmapped, and a paradise for trekkers. The trail is not a tough one, although the distance is quite far. Often used by the neighboring villagers, the narrow path is easily recognizable and well maintained. The makers of the trail to Padei Puhbsein must have carefully thought out the gradient and the slope of the land before undertaking the task of laying out this trail. The journey on foot does not include any portion which is a steep climb or a difficult ascent. On the way, we stopped by a ficus tree to observe a traditional practice of harvesting rubber by a young farmer who also showed us how he melted the rubber to use it as a sticky bird trap.
Oh, naik tu. Apa yang naik?
Ano support cinta
Kempa.
Our onward journey takes us across two root bridges which are a part of the Padei ecosystem.
So what you see here is a massive ficus tree with several stems hanging just next to this waterfall. There's water flowing here. Not many people will notice this bridge, but this is an improvised ficus root bridge. And the base of this bridge is entirely ficus roots. But what you see here, they have put these boulders, these stones to strengthen the structure of this bridge. And this is really something which is unique, and not many ficus bridges are built like this.
The Jinking Wa Ulay and Jinking Wa Misang are small and do not look that impressive, but they are heritage structures that serve as an important link to the past and are symbols of the sustainable organic ficus culture of the communities in these mountains and valleys.
I'm walking along this small ficus bridge about 15 feet, and interesting feature of this bridge is that you don't see any tree on this side, and even on the other side you don't see a tree close by. But if you look more closer There's a ficus tree behind. The roots of that tree, which has been extended here to form this bridge. And you see this roots, they have been taken on top of this boulder, and they have grown over the years to such a massive size that it would have been impossible to break this bridge. This is the support, the anchor of this root bridge in Padei. On our trail from Pong and Rangpajun, we've reached Padei, and it's just a short distance away. What we have here is what the Khasis call the Korshong Thaj, and this is specially made for people who take their loads on their backs and after a long walk come and rest here and sit down. This is a traditional cultural heritage site, and you'll find these kind of Korshong Thaj or resting places all over the Khasi Hills.
It takes us about 45 minutes to reach Padei Puhbsein. At first glance, the village is built on the slope of a mountain at a much higher elevation than Pong Rangpajun, and surrounded by broom grass north, south, east and west. Like in other parts of Khadar Shnong, broom grass has changed the landscape and the economy of this village too. As we enter the village, we step into an open space of a field surrounded by huts. The space is probably used as a venue for traditional celebration and cultural activities by the community, whose majority belong to the indigenous religion. Our first contact, as always, were the children, who were shy and surprised at the same time by our unannounced arrival. We soon socialized with the villagers and met up with the village head and secretary of the Darbar Shnong. In the limited time that we spent there speaking to the headman and secretary, we managed to discuss a few issues concerning the well-being of the community.
They have a Pong Pia Lek Kum Dong, the Pushnong Jupi.
Not have ya.
Pia Don Ki Nong Ida Way, Hang Snong, ne Pia Lek Shabar, Snong Ne Kum Dong.
Ya dan ki Asha. Tatia Ida Way.
Nang tadi ya lek beca.
Nang tatia lek khasang. Ya lek suba.
Pi Bag Snong Jupi Kam Khot, Ben Kiwi Kiwi, Pi Snong Kum Dong.
Itu tatia ya lek bala ni pun khoi ti. Trên nòng hạt thoi à, bên khơi trên nòng thì cũng tốt, chỉ bên này chỉ vật.
Chỉ xin bên này, đi bên khơi trên nòng.
Giờ lại cũng tốt đó, giờ lại cái bá lắm mà bà, cầm y, tính là cầm y, phía cái gì thì mình giờ lại chỉ tốt.
Chừng đòn cầm của trong cái sông Padei Puhbsein này là cái con săn từ đây cái số lọc ấy, mà bà số lọc cái đây cái bữa lơm trong cái rơi cái pan là cái bên ta cái sông, mà cái bên súc cái kít cái bạ cái lệch cái quan, cái băng cái xí đâm là này cái mata rồi đấy, cái bám cái đi thế mà này bà thiết tăng sơ khao. Và thế tăng cả đợi hiện nay một cái chul cái hấp nó buồn cái bài dở ra nó này nè xin ông cái chul khao là chồng
cái chul là chồng cái sriu
cái sriu cái phan cái jekria cái jayeng cái pasyor cái tăng cái khao cái piet cái slasha cái sinh ra cái dở hi
buồn như cái bát hết
ta này có xin ông trong như ông giá lệ bên giá bát cật bà lại như cái riti terus kembali lek kilang suah kijing lek niam pokoknya cái sinong cái giống ấy sisi sen sisi nem ni pelong kata ka siat ka kemen siat suk men sem kata ka ba ngiju aingu là nên ngiju khu yu blai trai kandat nong bộ nong thao tang ngiju kul khu ya kana ka eo rải cái eo xin nong cái ta bong cái lấy rải lấy xin nong trong cái này cái xin nong bên bịt bên biang cái thùng cái tép cái lép cái riêng bịt bên biang cái trong là cắt sải.
Later, the craftsmen of Padei village demonstrated their skills in making baskets of different sizes. This is indeed cultural capital that is alive because of the community in Pong, Rangpajun, Padei, Puhbsein and Thangtim. It lives on despite the odds and challenges faced by the indigenous community because it is their source of income and well-being. In a matter of about 30 minutes, the headman with speed and accuracy deftly put together a complete basket for us. It was a rare display of excellent craftsmanship by him and the other villagers. It was a privilege to witness such display of acquired skill, heritage and material culture that is passed on from generation to generation in these villages. After the demonstration of expertise in bamboo basketry, our attention was diverted to a rare display of the traditional name calling in the Khat-Arshnong style. The mother called her children, both boy and girl, by uttering a coded tune that was their name, and they responded immediately. The neighborhood of Puhbsein shares the same headman and Dorbarshnong as Padei. The two neighborhoods have a total number of 47 households and a population of a little more than 200 people. There are two lower primary schools and an upper primary school in the village. The economy is mainly dependent on broomgrass cultivation and basketry. We moved on the flight of steps to the next adjoining and last destination on our itinerary, Thangtim village. It's a small hamlet founded quite recently, sometime in 1986. There are 26 households, a lower primary school and a community where more than 50% of the population is Christian. Surrounded by a verdant and green landscape, the village shares much of the same characteristic traits of Padei Puhbsein. Apparently, the villages of Pong, Rangpajun, Padei, Puhbsein and Thangtim are not separate communities and isolated from each other, but rather a close-knit society that are socially connected with one another through common lineage and ancestry. In fact, there were intermarriages amongst the clans and villagers which further strengthened the social relations. Their origin owes much to the forefathers of Pong village who were instrumental in setting up the adjoining villages. Thangtim, although small in numbers, has a literacy rate much higher than Pong Rangpajun and has many school-going children. The 15 Christian households belong to the Presbyterian and Catholic denomination. We were invited inside the house of the secretary of the Dorbar Shnong, who is also a master craftsman. We discuss a number of issues, including the cleanliness certificate which the village received from the Khadar Shnong Lajkro Block Development Office in 2017.
Cái Shnong nhưงี้, cái Shnong là barang chu sen đằng xiên ấy, snem khát cái này spa fra phong riêu. Thì bên cái chừng dạ lần ti cái giống như cùng cái Shnong. Thế yêu y và cái đàn cam rồi cái chừng lại khui. Thì cái đây cái chừng persang giống như khẩn điết. Thì hạt tiên ta cái đơn cái chừng thu là cái liên cái blog mà cái chừng thu trong cái blog one bên bên shisha bên ai được cái certificate ông cái ODF để house name arajar khẩn nhiều
Kaya kita rekam jong pi bare ba penne kata ka jong khoi ang ne.
chừng persang chừng bên penne cái đây cái này bằng persang bên lệ mình ngọc bên ai
Mano benai,
dan kejing pen khuy sinong. Thì cái này ru kejing pen khuy man nào benai ru ngi pen bệnh nào liang ka sinong. Nhưng persang menta saban pen rakyang yang cái ke bawan ki yeng itu jaga kring tiar. Ngi sina de kinja filter ru.
Filter.
Pen rung siapa kendo.
Kendo.
Thangtim is a model village where every once in a month the community organizes a cleanliness drive. It's an activity that augurs hope and optimism for the next generation. The eco-friendly culture that is deeply embedded in the collective will of the micro-community is an asset, and it has become a tradition for this ingenious form of conservation and environmentalism to be passed on to the future generations.
We've come to the end of our journey across 4 villages from Phong to Padei, Puhbsein, and now finally Thangtim. And we end this day with the amazing communicating skills of the people here. So what you just saw was amazing communicating skills. Calling a dog by a code name, which the people here are experts. I hope that this form of communication is made even stronger and preserved for times to come. This form of communication is a rare cultural trait of the villagers here and of the Khasi civilization. Until we meet again in another village, Kublai.